With every passing month, it seems like there's another insect or pest threatening Ohio trees. But how can you tell if your tree is being threatened? And Bonner joins us now to tell us about how we can protect our trees. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Now, first of all, what are some of the biggest pests to trees?
Well, there are a lot of pests and diseases out there, but there is one pest that probably does more damage to any tree in America than anything else. And it's the human with string trimmers and lawnmowers.
Now, besides humans, what are some of the exotic pests that can hurt trees?
Well, we're also dealing with many pests and diseases that have come here from other places, and we call those invasive exotic species. And just this spring, we found the hemlock woolly agelgid in hemlock trees, both in Meigs County and also Washington County. So the state and federal officials are right now figuring out where those trees are and coming up with a plan to help communities deal with them. So that's a big one that's impacting hemlocks. Another one that you've probably heard about is the emerald ash borer, and that's a pest from China that came here on shipping crates, and it attacks ash trees. And luckily we have not found the emerald ash borer in Athens County yet, but it was found in Muskingum County this spring. So there's lots more. So.
You say the state is trying to find these pests. How does they go about finding these pests?
Well, that's a great question. There aren't a lot of us, but we rely on educated people and concerned citizens. And so oftentimes these pests are found by people who simply find something unusual in their trees in their backyard. Or, in fact, the emerald ash borer that was found in Zanesville was a guy that loves trees. He was eating at McDonald's and he parked under a tree and he saw it and contacted a forester with the Department of Agriculture, and they said sure enough it was the emerald ash borer. So it really does pay. We need people to be looking up and paying attention to their trees.
Now, how can just an ordinary person tell if there's a tree that's sick or if this is an exotic pest?
Well, that's a great question. There are lots of pests and diseases out there that can impact trees. But most native pests and diseases, and these are diseases and insects that have evolved with trees over time, trees can handle it. It's when you take a species from outside that ecosystem and all of a sudden this tree has to respond and react to that when it didn't evolve with that pest or disease. So trees will give us some signs. A lot of times they'll get thin in the top. Maybe their leaves will be smaller than normal. They might be off color. It's just if something's a little bit off. And when you're in doubt, ask a professional.
Now, just briefly, how can someone just protect their trees so they don't have to worry about sick trees?
Well, that's another good question. Trees are like people, and if we're healthy, if we're getting enough sleep, if we're taking our vitamins and eating healthy, we can resist pathogens that we come in contact with. And trees are the same way. If we keep them healthy, they can resist most things. And how you keep a tree healthy is, number one, don't use broadleaf weed killers around it. Keep your fertilizers away. Don't top your trees. Let's see what else. Mulch them. If anytime you can add mulch is a good. That's can moderate the temperature extremes in the soil. So just keeping your tree healthy will go a long way to keeping pests and diseases away.
Ms. Bonner, thanks for being here this
evening.
Thanks
for having me.